Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 challenge run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're jumping back in with Farmer Potato Thrower. Last time I did this, I was not able to get a win, and I said that I would return to this, because I do think that it is possible, and we'll see if we can actually succeed at this extremely difficult run. I've got a bunch of time today to record, so if this is a 5-hour video, then you know what happened. But I do intend to keep going until I manage to get it. Might take a few attempts because there is an element of luck to this run for sure. 65 starting materials, not bad. I need to save money so we can buy more guns if they show up in the shop. So I could take attack speed, I could roll for maximum health. I think I will roll once here because either health or harvesting are really good to pick up early. I'm gonna grab the harvesting. I think I need to buy the propeller hat. The reason for this is that extra luck means more chances to drop consumables, so more chances to trigger the farmer passive. But then also, having higher luck means more chances for level 2 or higher weapons to show up in the shop, which means more chances at getting a potato thrower. I'm going to roll once here. If I find something really good, like a landmine or turret, that could help us clear the wave very early, or obviously stuff like fertilizer, really powerful harvesting items, then I would buy them. Since we didn't, I'm going to save my money because we can't get a potato thrower in the shop on wave 1. It's not possible for a level 2 item to show up. So I need to save my money for wave 2 so we can buy another weapon. Do I want to lock a tree? I guess so. We won't make a lot of use of the tree for a while, but locking it now means that we'll have it for when we are able to use it. Trying to make sure that I'm putting 2 shots into the same enemy so we can actually kill them. And then need to put a bunch of damage into the tree. Then I'm going to pull the enemies away from that tree. Oh, no, I did not mean to take a hit there. Really unfortunate, because that cost me a harvesting growth as the farmer. I'm going to take 3 max HP to scale our weapons. Okay, and we got really lucky. We got a potato thrower right away. Now, I'm not going to buy the coupon, even though we could, right? This would be 62 materials total, but the potato thrower cost would drop by 2 because it would cost 5% less. But then I wouldn't be able to reroll to try to find more throwers. So I'm just going to buy this one and then reroll twice to try to lock another one. We missed, but I think it's really so important to upgrade our weapon set that I really want to get those rerolls in. So that's why we're not buying the coupon. But now that we've got 2 guns, we're actually killing enemies sometimes. I need to hit that tree, I think, once more. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I meant to step on that fruit, but because I moved poorly there, I wasn't able to grab it. But as long as I pick it up before the wave ends, we get an extra harvesting. And the harvesting ticks right away, which is really important. Let's just take 5 luck here, and 12% damage, probably good enough to pick up. It's not going to increase the damage output of my weapon yet, but later on it will. So here, the question is, do I buy coupon and tree and start re-rolling now, or re-roll with 4 slots open to find more potato throwers, or do I just start re-rolling with these 2 items still locked in order to try to buy one right away? Because if I buy both these items, I won't be able to afford a 3rd gun. I think it will still just take enough rerolls that I'm just going to buy the items here. I'll definitely take a turret. That can help us clear many more enemies. And although I probably prefer lifesteal over regeneration on this character, because Potato Thrower attacks really fast, that's the one good thing about this weapon, I think I'm going to take the plant, and I'll lock a weird food, and I'll do 1 more reroll. So we're going to play kind of around our turret so it can help us clear enemies. I actually think I would rather... Normally turret is better than landmines, but for this character I think the landmines would be better because I could group up a big pile of enemies and try to stack them all on top of 1 landmine for a bunch of enemy kills all in a row. Trying to stay alive and at full health to where I can actually kill these trees. Oh, the turret switched targets, so it didn't kill the tree at the end. So we didn't get either tree kill, unfortunately. Here, I'm just going to take 10% attack speed. I could reroll for harvesting or max HP, but grabbing attack speed will help. And then let's do a reroll here. And a reroll again. A wave 4, we're more likely to find potato throwers. So while we have a guaranteed weapon slot, I'm just rerolling to see if we can find them. I missed 3 times, so I'm just going to buy these 2 items and reroll once more. It might look a little odd to do it in that order, but I really wanted to be able to buy a potato thrower right away if we found one. Now, unfortunately, because we're on Abyssal Terrors, we have these Mantis Shrimp, which are going to absorb infinite damage. So it's going to be very, very difficult to actually kill stuff. And I get that tree kill. Nice. Got it. And got the harvesting from it. I wasn't able to pick up that fruit, but the goal is just to stay full health until the end of the wave, and then we can pick up the extra consumable. And actually, I was able to sweep in and grab it, so we will get the extra harvesting this wave. And here, I'm going to roll. I need to find another weapon. Okay, nail is actually pretty good. This will give us more ways to scale our damage. It's good with our turret, so I think that's actually a pretty nice one. And Pocket Factory is a good way to clear enemies, but let's roll one more time. So if I can sort of transition to an engineering build, then we're in good shape. But with only 2 guns, and we haven't gotten any like harvesting growth, we haven't gotten much HP to increase our damage, I think I might just not be able to get to the point where I can afford those items. So we'll see. we'll see how this goes. Somehow actually managed to kill a pufferfish in there and then have to dodge its attacks. That movement was very tight. I had to move pretty perfectly to avoid taking a hit there. 115 materials. I'm going to take 15 luck here, I think, because I do need to increase that. Now, here's the question. Do I buy Pocket Factory? Do I take Nail? Do I take Acid? Because that will increase the damage of our weapons. Pocket Factory won't do anything until I have more ways to actually kill the trees. So I think we're going to take the Acid, and then we're going to reroll. Jerky's really good. I'm going to roll one more time and try to find a potato thrower. With only 2 guns, this is still going to be brutally difficult, I think. But at least they do 7 damage apiece now. The challenge, of course, is that if you don't find weapons early, you just end up in a really bad spot. Trying to pull the enemies through the turret so it can get us at least a couple more materials. I need the luck so that we can roll more potato throwers. Just having higher luck is going to make that happen more frequently. Took a hit there, but I got the harvesting before I took that damage, so that's good. The tree is not working out currently because we simply are not getting... we don't have weapons, so we're just not killing stuff. I'm going to take the 3 regeneration. Okay, we found another weapon, and I'll reroll one more time for that same reason. Okay, I'll lock Garden. With 3 weapons, I can now maybe start buying this other stuff. We really need more than that, but 3 is a good enough start that it can help us clear enough enemies and enough trees that we can maybe use Pocket Factory and Nail and stuff like that to make up the difference. You can see here, we're actually killing not everything, but enough enemies that we were able to stay reasonably healthy for the first part of the wave. Running away here. The utility from the knockback on this weapon is pretty strong. That's one thing that can keep us alive even when the damage is really low. And I'm trying to kill these trees as much as possible. If we get crates, that's one way we can actually scale our economy a little bit. Okay, I even got that one, which is really nice. Only 100 materials, though. I'm definitely taking Little Frog here. We're never going to build Dodge, even though we got a 9% Dodge upgrade. I have to reroll there, and I do want to get to positive lifesteal, so I think I am just going to take the 2% lifesteal. Unfortunately, I didn't do the math, and that meant I couldn't buy the nail, which is what I wanted to buy this wave. I think I'll take the garden here, and then we'll go to wave 9. Garden should get me some harvesting growth immediately, so that's very helpful. This wave is going to be extremely difficult. We just don't have the damage to kill all the really high health enemies that show up this wave. What I'm really worried about right now is that I simply don't have the defensive stats to fight an elite. Obviously, unless we get ridiculously lucky with our damage scaling and finding early weapons, we're never going to kill an elite. But if we get the defensive stats to be able to tank through one, then we can be okay. I do think also this run is easier with elites than with horde waves. So this is the setup that we want. It just unfortunately isn't working for us right now. Okay, I'm going to take the nail and I'm going to reroll twice to try to find another potato thrower. But nail should increase our damage at least a little bit. And then we'll get Pocket Factory, which will increase our damage more. Shouldn't have taken that hit, obviously. I wanted the nail before the Pocket Factory because, as you can see, obviously, we get way more attacks from our guns than we do from our turrets, even if we had a Pocket Factory. If I had Lumberjack shirt, which is going to be a very high pick for this character if it shows up, then I would probably have prioritized the Pocket Factory. All right, unfortunately, I just didn't find weapons there, and I think I bought too many items that didn't really do anything, so let's give that another go. Oh, such bad movement there. Really bad to take a hit here, because now if I get a fruit, if we spawn a tree or if one happens to drop, then I don't get a harvesting. So you can see there, we didn't get one extra harvesting when I got that tree. Very poor play by me. Let's roll here, and I'm going to roll one more time. Really looking for max HP or harvesting. I'll take the max HP. And then Lemonade is quite good, but I think I need to find... Yeah, this is what we were hoping for. Early landmines will help a lot. And then I will take a Fertilizer as well, and I'll lock Propeller Hat. For 3, I'm going to reroll one more time. So I actually need to protect my landmines and not let enemies run into it, if possible, until I have gotten a big grouping of enemies. And then, oh no, they stepped on it. I pulled them into it there. But there we go. So that will help us clear out a big pile of enemies all at once. And so the landmines actually helps pay for itself very quickly. Here, I'm going to reroll once. And we'll take 5 luck, I think. Really not getting good offerings in terms of items. I'm going to roll once here. Lure, I don't think I can afford to buy. And I'm going to roll one more time to try to find a potato thrower. One more reroll, and we missed again. So let's just go to the next wave and save our money. So the early landmine should help a lot. And we do at least 4 damage a shot now, thanks to that HP upgrade. Okay, I'm not going to be able to stop those enemies from walking into the mine, so I wanted to... Oh, no, that one snuck up from the side. We should get one more landmine this wave. So hopefully, yeah, it unfortunately spawned right under some enemies there, so I wasn't able to pull the whole group into it, but we're still making more money than we were in previous waves here. I'll take 5 attack speed and 3 more HP. Scar is pretty good, so I'm going to lock that. But I need to roll for a potato thrower, so I'm going to roll, and roll. And I'm going to keep re-rolling and save our money here. Because I have the landmines, I can afford to spend a little more on rerolls to try to get our weapon set online. They always, one of them just like wanders in from an angle and snipes the landmine out from under me. every time I'm trying to set up a big group of enemies to go on it. Where's our mine spawn? Up here. Okay, this should be a good one if I can pull them. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Now, I won't be able to pick up all those materials because I would have to take a ton of damage to walk back into it, but that's exactly what we were hoping for. I'm going to buy these 2 items now to open up some more slots to reroll. I'm going to take another landmines, and we'll reroll again, and reroll again, and reroll again. Okay, we found another potato thrower. An ugly tooth is also a good way to stay alive against elites. So with double landmines and a second gun, maybe we're in okay shape. See if we can clear some of those at least, and then I'm going to pull another group into this mine. I went back to the left there to try to pull them away from the mine. One of our mines just spawned underneath a bunch of enemies and exploded immediately. There we go. Got a mine over here. That extra speedy enemy kind of messed us up. And I'm taking hits while I'm trying to do the navigation that you have to do to get them to step on the landmines, but we're still making okay money here. I could take 3 regen, but I think just 8 harvesting to make sure our harvesting is continuing to increase, and then we're going to take some more HP. Baby squid is a good one, too. I could get that going pretty early, but I think what we're going to do here is take the helmet and then do a reroll and a reroll to try to lock another weapon. So I would say decent start. Landmines definitely helping out. I do need to start fixing my movement a little bit. Okay. Stepped on one mine by accident there, so I lost one landmine. And at this point, also, the landmines are no longer one-shotting most of the enemies, so we need to pull them over multiple mines to get kills. Oh, no! The pufferfish died to the mine and exploded. I wasn't anticipating that. That's too bad. That was a really good start. All right, so 65, that's about average, I think. And then I'm going to take 3 HP and a reroll. Ooh, sharp bullet. So the piercing damage is obviously very, very low on this weapon, but I think buying the sharp bullet early is going to help us get more actual enemy kills. So I'm going to do that. Maybe I don't even lock coupon. Our economy is so low, the coupon just takes forever to pay for itself. So I think I'm just going to reroll one more time here, and I was looking again for landmines or turrets. Because enemies this wave have 5 HP, so the piercing should, the little shrimp here, have 5 HP, I believe. So the piercing should help us kill a few more of these. Should get 1 harvesting here, which is nice as well. And then, do I want harvesting or maximum health? So right now, our weapons do 4 damage a shot. I could scale my health up to 18, and that wouldn't improve our damage. So let's take 5 harvesting here. And then penguin would be really good if we can get to the point where we're actually killing stuff. But let's roll again. I think I'm just going to reroll a few times and look for potato throwers. Here, though, tree and bag are probably both good enough to take. Tree, at least, we sort of have to take, I think, on this character. And bag, I'm going to lock. We might not buy it right away, but it's such a good item. So if I get another gun, I think, with the piercing shots, we're actually in pretty good shape. Because we'll be able to clear more enemies than you usually can on this character. Still doing a little worse than last time because we don't have the landmines. Let's roll here. I could take 8% damage to fix our percentage damage. I could just take 2 regen. I think I'm just going to take the regen, try to stay at full health. Okay, so we're not going to get a potato thrower this wave, but I'm going to buy tree, lumberjack shirt, and bag. And then I'm going to roll until we find a weapon, hopefully. I'll lock a broken mouth for sure. These 3 items together should help us potentially scale our economy, which is very important. An incendiary turret's an amazing find as well. Then I'll lock that, and the next wave we'll buy the incendiary turret, and that should be able to help us actually clear enemies for quite a while. With the lumberjack shirt, we make a lot of extra money. Now, unfortunately, I took that hit, so I'm not going to get a harvesting. This wave, get back to full health, I guess, just in case we spawn another consumable. Although if I then take more damage, then obviously it's all academic. Almost no money this wave, unfortunately. Here, I'm going to take 3 maximum health. Okay, we got a potato thrower. I think the incendiary turret is actually more important, though, so I'm going to buy that. And then we'll just go straight to wave 5. And then we'll play around the incendiary. The downside of doing this is we are less likely to find more potato throwers, because we can't find one when we have one locked in the shop. So I've locked myself at 2 weapons for probably a while. But the upside is, I mean, you can see how much this is helping clear the wave. Incendiary turret is an item that I think is generally undervalued by players for builds that aren't engineering. It's actually really good even if you're not buying engineering. It's very good for clearing enemies. I'm going to take 6 max HP here, then we'll take a potato thrower, and I think another bag, and then I'm going to reroll. I'm looking for more weapons. Alien Eyes is another way we could try to kill stuff. We're going to buy a lot of HP, obviously, but it's so expensive. I think it will take forever to pay off. Okay, really the worst possible spawn for our turrets. In the corner of the map directly on top of each other. But I am still just going to play near them and try to kill as many enemies as possible. I can work my way around here to get this tree. The piercing shots do make it easier to kill trees as well. And then we can pull the enemies back into the incendiary turret. It'll clear out a big group of them. Try not to randomly die to a pufferfish again. Yeah, this is so much harder on Abyssal Terrors because I was hoping I could get all of those materials. I didn't. Okay, triple bag. Always a good start. Let's roll once here, and then I'm going to take 10 luck. 4 lifesteal is amazing. That'll keep us alive much more effectively. But do I need to roll for a weapon here? I think with the double turret, I don't yet need to roll for a weapon. So I'm going to buy the whetstone, and I'm going to buy the broken mouth, and then I'm going to roll. And Weird Ghost, I should probably not buy because we're the farmer. So it'll cost me harvesting. If we had gotten a less awful turret spawn last wave also, we'd be in much better shape. That cost us probably 30, 40 materials, just the fact that they spawned in a terrible location. This is a much better turret spawn, so you can see our turret on the left there is killing stuff, and we're pulling enemies into the turret, the incendiary on the top right. This is a healer wave, so unfortunately the incendiary turret is somewhat limited by that. And I took a hit there, which meant I wasn't able to make the maximum use of my farmer passive, but mostly the goal here is just to survive because we're actually making good money now. I'm going to take the cog. It does cost me 4% damage, but we have 2 engineering items, and then we're going to take 6 max HP. Perfect. We found another potato thrower, and a weird food is great as well, and another potato thrower, and a lost duck. Do I want to re-roll once? I think I do, actually. Okay, so we're in very good shape here. The cog is good because the engineering is good, but also knockback is nice because that's a big part of our strategy for staying alive, and it means that as I get more turrets and landmines, which we will start buying, those will also apply the knockback and pull enemies away from me. Knockback is pretty good on engineering builds because the way that it works on PC, not on mobile, is that the enemies always get knocked away from the character. So your turrets will actually pull enemies away from you if there's an enemy in between you and them. Okay. Pretty poor income there. Do I need to take the movement speed or should I take armor? I think I should just take the armor. I do want movement speed as well. Scared Sausage isn't bad, so it'll increase the damage output of my weapons basically by 1. It also means that our incendiary turret will do 7 damage, because it just adds 1 flat damage to every burning weapon, and incendiary turret counts. Our turret will also be able to apply it, so I think I will take Scared Sausage. I'm almost certainly not going to invest into elemental damage, but the Scared Sausage itself is pretty good. And then I'll take a potato thrower here. So we're going to be up to 5 weapons, which is, I think, more than I've gotten in any of my attempts so far. Trying to have our incendiary turret clear stuff. Unfortunately, this is always a super difficult wave for a character like this one, because there's just so much total enemy HP. Trying to make sure that I'm clearing the trees and keeping enemies near our incendiary turret so that they die, but also trying to stay at full health so we can build harvesting as we go. Managed to pick up a ton of materials there. I'm always going to take a million hits. Ah, my movement there was so bad. I can't believe I threw that run. I needed to run down. That was our chance. Feels really bad to lose that one. The incendiary turret was such a lucky break, and we had a lot of weapons. If I had run down to the right, I think I'd have made it out there. But that wave is always going to be super tricky. There's just so many enemies on the field. I'm going to roll here, and we'll take 5 harvesting. And let's roll. We're looking for a turret or a landmine, as we have seen before. Those help a lot. I'm going to roll one more time to try to find those. I missed. I'm not going to take a book. 1 engineering just isn't worth spending our money on. I guess they have 6 health, because we're critting for 5 damage and they're not dying. But they die in 2 shots, so 6 health for these crimps on this wave. Here I'm going to reroll once and reroll again. We are not finding any harvesting or max HP. I'll take a broken mouth and then I'm going to reroll. I'll take a fertilizer and reroll again, and lock a fertilizer and a broken mouth, and then we're going to hope for weapons to show up. But at least scaling our HP, every time I buy a broken mouth, it's like buying 1 base ranged damage. Or, 1 base damage for our weapon. Took 2 hits there, which is going to be kind of impossible to heal back up, but I still want to try to kill the tree in case we can get a crate out of it. We're not going to get a harvesting, and I didn't even manage to kill the tree, unfortunately. Take 5 harvesting here, and then let's buy... Just going to buy both of these items and then do some rerolls. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to roll into potato throwers. I think this is a luck-based enough run that I need to just buy strong items and sort of hope that the potato throwers show up. Because it's just not a run that you... I think my instinct has been to try to make this a consistently winnable run by rolling for the items that we need. Whereas, in order to win, we're going to need to get a little lucky, so I should put myself in... I should play greedier, so that when we get the luck, we're in the best possible position to take advantage of it. Let's roll once here, and I'm going to take a lifesteal, try to stay at full health. Here, I have to reroll and reroll. Still nothing. I really need to find a weapon, though. So this run is probably dead just because we haven't found a potato thrower. Or any kind of turret or incendiary turret, landmine, anything like that. We just have no way to kill stuff. If I find a weapon in this next shop, then we'll keep trying it. Really sad about last run, because that was our best chance so far, I think. Here, let's roll once, and I'll take 6 max HP. Landmines is honestly, it's too late now for the landmines to be good, so I kind of just have to reroll, I think. And we'll roll again. Okay, we found a potato thrower. Rolling again. Broken mouth. Lock. And go to the next wave. If I buy just, like, HP and damage on this character, or HP and guns, maybe we can get our damage high enough to kill stuff. The problem is that if you're the farmer, even if you're clearing all the enemies, you can still just fall behind in economy, because the farmer's passive does not make up for 50% reduced material gains. So we need to not only be killing stuff, we need to also scale our economy, or we're still just going to fall behind and lose. Taking too much damage here. Let's just take some more max HP, and then I'm going to reroll. That reinforced seal looked like a potato thrower, so I was like, oh, okay, we got a gun, but we did not. Alright, we've rolled a million times to try to find guns this wave, so I'm actually just going to restart here. So, let's jump back into it. I took a quick break there as well, if you noticed a cut in the video. So I think what I need to do is I need to roll fairly aggressively for engineering items in the first shop, because that's what has enabled us to get a reasonable start. Okay, that was pretty good. We got 2 harvesting right away. Here I'm going to roll once and take 5 luck, because the extra luck will help us find higher level weapons, and given that I have higher luck, I can also maybe get more consumable drops. I'm going to roll a couple times, and we're looking for... Oh, I definitely want the lumberjack shirt. Do I just buy it right now? I think I do, and then I'm going to reroll one more time, and we'll lock a weird food. Maybe even the consumable heal items are not good, so I'm going to roll one more time, and then just go to the next wave here. I do need to save enough money that if we do find a potato thrower, then I can still buy it. The other issue, of course, with this weapon is that, you know, normally with a support weapon, you get a lot of your money from the support weapon tag. But because this is a level 2 or higher weapon, so our weapon tags are not online yet, we're struggling to do that. Bat would be pretty good, but I think I just need to reroll here, and then I'm going to reroll again. Reroll again. One more reroll to see if we can find anything good, and we did not. So let's go to the next wave. Have to kill those ranged enemies for sure. I also did not manage to pick up any HP, and that's a real problem. Although that crate is good, because HP is how we scale our damage in the early game, and doing 4 damage a shot would mean I'd be 2-shotting these shrimp, but doing 3 damage a shot means we're not going to kill anything, because it requires 3 hits, and given the really high knockback of this weapon, hitting the same enemy 3 times is almost impossible. Alien Tongue, I don't hate pickup radius. I think we need the 8 materials, though, to try to find weapons. I think 8 materials is just too valuable. I am going to roll, and we'll take 6 max HP. The propeller hat is good, but let's lock it and roll for a weapon here. I will take a landmines, and I'm going to roll again. So I could reroll looking for... I could buy the propeller hat, lock the cake, and then reroll looking for a potato thrower for next wave. I could buy the cake. That would put us over 20 HP, so it would mean 5 damage a shot on this gun, which is pretty relevant. I think what I need to do here, though, is find weapons. So I'm going to buy the propeller hat, we'll lock the cake, and then I'm going to roll again. We missed twice. I will take a penguin, though, because that can help keep me at full health. So, similar story as to when we had landmines in the previous one. I'm going to try to roll enemies into a ball here, and then hit them all at once with the landmine to maximize our damage output. I wasn't able to get to that tree. We'll take this one out, though. And I'm not going to get any harvesting because I've been taking hits. That's okay, though. We got a bunch of landmine kills there, and then let's manually target that. Okay, we got a crate. That's great. See if I can... Ooh, nice. Another tree. And I didn't manage to pick up all of those consumables. I will take a lemonade here, and then I'm going to take 8% damage, going back to damage positive. Coupon we're going to pass on again. But I do need to roll and find a potato thrower. I wasn't going to be able to afford to buy it if I rolled into it, so I bought the cake first. This way we have 5 damage a shot and can hopefully stay alive until we can buy a second weapon. So I'm going to try to draw all these enemies into a group and pull them on top of that landmine to kill at least a couple of them. It's so hard to pick up the consumables at full health because we're not killing enemies, so my pathing has to be very tight in order to actually get... Oh, I did not mean to step on that landmine. If I hadn't, I'd have actually killed a bunch more enemies there. Pick up all those materials. And do we get another landmine spawn? Yes, I do. So, but I wasn't able to get enemies to it in time. Let's take 8 harvesting here. Then I'll buy a potato thrower. Penguin could keep me at full health. I could take a tree to go with our lumberjack shirt. I think I'm going to grab the tree. I'll do 2 rerolls looking for a potato thrower, but we'll lock a lost duck and go to the next wave. So still not great with only 5 damage a shot and 2 weapons. I also messed up there and pulled an enemy onto the landmine. I have to be pretty careful of those pufferfish as well, because I just put a bunch of damage on both of them. So there's a very good chance that they die here. Picked up a harvesting there, which is nice. Okay, and then we pulled a bunch of enemies onto one mine, so we got a few enemy kills. And then we should get another mine spawn. So here's our mine spawn, and there we go. At least got a decent number of enemy kills there. Definitely I'll take the baby squid. I'm going to take the movement speed to stay ahead of enemies. Here, I was really hoping to find another weapon. I could take a lost duck and penguin and then roll. That would be 77 materials total, so I would get 1 reroll to look for a gun. I could also roll right away, but I think I need the 2 open slots, so I am going to buy those 2 items. I'm going to do a reroll, and then we're just going to go to the next wave. Oh, no! My potato gun threw the enemy on top of the landmine and broke it. Not that the mines are that good at this point. Because our Wave 7 enemies have enough health that the mines don't clear most of them. They're still useful, though, and you can see we still got an enemy kill there. Or a bunch of kills there with that mine. Okay, we got... Oh, no! It charged in and took out our landmine before I could pull all these guys on top of it. If I had managed to do that, that would have been very valuable. Had to take those hits in order to kill the tree there. That was more important, and staying full health is not that critical. Unfortunately, I can't take the Peaceful Bee here. It would reduce the damage of my weapons, so I just have to recycle that. Do I want 10 harvesting or 12% damage? I think I'm just going to take 12% damage, and then we're going to roll, and we're looking for... Okay, I'll take a sharp bullet, same reason as last time. Baby Elephant is not that good, right? Because we just don't drop enough materials to make use of it. So even with 28 luck and relatively high percent damage for this character, I think we can't use that. Sunken Bell, on the other hand, that's a pretty nice panic button, so I think I will take that. And then, okay, we got coffee and we got a potato thrower. So if we make it past this wave, which is the wave that's been giving me, or one of the waves that's been giving me a lot of trouble, then maybe we're okay. If I'd found one more gun this run, then we'd be in so much better shape. No. Stupid moray eel just ran straight at my landmine. Yeah, the landmines are just getting sniped because there's so many enemies on the field now. We did get 2 crates, though, so chalk up 1 for high luck, but I just didn't have the attack speed or... because with only 2 guns, I didn't have enough shots to knock back enemies enough. Here, let's just take 5 luck. And then I'll do a reroll. I'll do a reroll. I am going to buy Sharp Bullet again, and I'll do 1 more reroll, looking for a turret or a landmine. We didn't hit, but that's okay. Sharp Bullet early, I think, matters a lot to this character. Just means we can actually ever kill stuff. So now we're in very good shape if I find a second gun. I also managed to pick up 1 harvesting here, which is good. 59 materials, not amazing, but not the worst. Let's just take 5% damage so I'm not losing any damage per shot. Then I'm going to roll, and I could take a tree. I think I'm just going to roll 1 more time, though. I'm looking for turrets or landmines, or, of course, a potato gun. And I'm going to take a Broken Mouth that will increase the damage of my gun enough to pay for itself pretty quickly. Alright, so not in terrible shape at the moment. We don't have a lumberjack shirt, so I need to hit trees a lot to kill them, and unfortunately took a hit there. Run over here and try to finish this tree off. Okay, we got it. Not going to be able to get the other one, but 54 materials. I think we can still buy a potato gun if it shows up. Cyberball is sort of interesting, but we just don't kill enemies enough. I'm going to take the lumberjack shirt, and then I'm going to roll and roll. Okay, we found a potato thrower, a lock of coffee. 49 materials is my goal to be able to buy that. And I think we're guaranteed to get that if I survive just from harvesting. The difference between runs where we find a potato gun on wave 2 and the ones where we don't is massive. So there really is just a very strong component of luck to this run, unfortunately. Almost every run in Brotato is winnable, I think basically 100% of the time, but this one is not. I'm going to take just 5 attack speed. I don't want to spend money re-rolling on that screen when I need to re-roll on this screen to try to find more weapons. Propeller hat is worth grabbing, though, and then I will re-roll once and go to the next wave. So second gun helps a lot. And if I hit level 5, we'll hit 20 HP. Which will also be an extra damage on per attack. Hitting increments of 5 HP is really important, of course, since we scale with 20% of our health on this weapon. The buffing aliens are really putting the hurt on me as well. Here I'm just going to take some lifesteal to try to stay as healthy as possible. And then this is our last chop where we're guaranteed to see a weapon. So I'm going to roll and roll and roll. Okay, and we locked a potato thrower. We'll buy a coffee. Go to the next wave. So we at least did hit level 5 and got our max health. So we're doing 5 damage a shot now, which helps a lot. You can see we're killing enemies much, much faster. Our piercing shots are still only 1 damage, but it's still very helpful. Not only does it increase our damage sort of total to the enemies on the field, it also means that we're knocking back twice as many enemies every attack, because the knockback applies on the piercing shots as well, which is giving us a lot more space to work with. So it's actually very important that we got that. We'll take the potato thrower and then wheelbarrow. Can I afford to buy that? I don't think I can. I'm going to reroll once and just go to wave 7. All right. 3 guns is kind of the breakpoint where we actually kill enemies sometimes. Though with the healer on the field, that's going to stop pretty quickly. Oh man, I moved so badly there. It really is, you cannot afford to have poor movement, like, even once. All right, 67. That's more than we've been getting. So that's not bad. We got a little lucky on our 50% chance of dropping materials from enemies there. I'll take the harvesting. I am just going to buy the lumberjack shirt. I think that's worth buying right away. And then I'm going to roll again. Cake could increase our damage output. If I level up, then it'll boost me to level 4, or boost me to 4 damage a shot. So I think I will buy the cake, and then I'll do one more reroll. I'm still just looking for landmines or turrets here. Have to kill this thing. So as soon as I level, if any of these enemies drop materials, then yeah, we go up to 4 damage a shot. So that's why I thought it was worth it to buy the cake here. Although, the enemies decided not to drop any materials for a really long time there. But we still got a harvesting. Let's take a lifesteal, try to stay at full health, and then I'm going to reroll. Or reroll again. Ritual is pretty good, but I think I just need to reroll again. I could take a weird ghost here. I think I'm just going to save my money, though, because I have to find more guns. You're just not that likely to find level 2+ weapons on wave 2. So saving our money to reroll later, I think, is more important. This is a tricky wave, though, because I took all that extra damage. So I'm actually in kind of a bad position. But because I got my gun to 4 damage a shot, we do at least one-shot the little baby shrimp there. So we're clearing enemies a little faster. Let's take 2 lifesteal. Again, try to stay at full health. I'm going to buy a tree because we have a lumberjack shirt, and then I'm going to roll. Broken Mouth I'm locking, but I need to find a potato thrower, and we did find one. That's amazing. Let's roll again. I'll lock a fertilizer. And one more reroll, and then go to the next wave. Okay, so 2 guns on wave 4. They do 4 damage a shot. And once I can buy that, Broken Mouth will do 5 damage a shot. And I also have a tree and a lumberjack shirt. So not the best start that we've had, but could be a lot worse. I do need to stop taking random damage, but of course it's much more difficult because of how this character works. trying to stay away from the lamprey there. I'll take a coupon for 6 materials for sure, and then we'll take 2 armor. And buy the fertilizer. I could buy the broken mouth and then take 2 rerolls to try to find another weapon. I think that's worth it. So let's roll. Nothing here that we want. Let's roll again. Fertilizer and turret I want both of. Really sad that we're not finding a potato thrower, but the turret is the next best thing for sure. These mantis shrimp are really putting the hurt on me, just absorbing so much damage with their damage reduction. Let's work our way around here, and then we'll kill this tree. Got it, and 66 materials, not great. I'm gonna take 6 max HP, and then... Do I have to roll for a gun, or can I buy these 2? I think I can buy these 2, because we still get 2 rerolls. Still missed twice. We're getting so unlucky on finding weapons here. Celery tea, by the way, I just don't think we can afford. It takes so long to pay off, and this character needs to get stronger right away. I think last time I tried this, like in my last video, we were finding way more potato throwers, so... Definitely a little less lucky this time, I guess. Even at 50% material drops, our turret is paying for itself pretty quickly. Just have to stay alive this wave, and then maybe I get another gun. I was really hoping to get to that tree. Cauldron, I will take. The extra damage could be very helpful, and the extra pickup radius isn't bad. Take 6 movement speed. Still no gun. We'll take a bag, and then I'll reroll. I'll take another turret, and then I'm just going to reroll here, and I guess I'm taking a tree as well. Alright, so now we're kind of all in on finding Pocket Factory. Because I've got double tree, I have lumberjack shirt. If I find Pocket Factory, suddenly that can just kill stuff for us. Again, this is a healer wave. Oh, somehow I pathed not onto that chest and then didn't get the farmer passive. Needed to kill that tree, and that tree died by itself, which is great. We're also at full health. So as long as I stay full health, we'll get... Oh, I did not manage to, but I got at least 1 harvesting. I'll take the Lost Duck. Losing lifesteal is so bad, but the Clover, I think, is still just something that we absolutely have to take. And I'll take 3 HP here. A garden, I think it just takes too long to pay off, so I need to not buy the garden. Incendiary turret, though, we will definitely buy. Sharp bullet we'll buy, and then we're going to go to the next wave here. So now we're kind of all in on engineering. So I can actually start buying engineering items, because we have an incendiary turret and a sharp bullet. So we may end up spending money on engineering this run. And if we find Pocket Factory, then that could be our main plan here. Having lost all of that lifesteal to the Clover, though, is stopping my healing from being as good as it once was, and it was already not great. Trying to stay away from the anglerfish, but I need to run down and at least pick up some of those materials. But we made 200 materials this wave. I'm going to recycle the dynamite. Even if we get landmines, dynamite is just not that important. And then I could take 1 lifesteal, and maybe I should. We We have 28 luck, though. I feel like we can get a relevant higher level upgrade, and we got some HP. Ritual wouldn't be bad, but I think I need to roll for things that are less expensive. I'll take a butterfly, though, to keep our health going. Decomposing flesh, we really need the base damage, so I have to roll here, I think, and I just need to find a weapon. Metal detector, jerky, clockwork wasp. I'll take the wasp and the jerky. Metal detector, I think, is too expensive. Even though it gives engineering. On this wave, our turrets all spawning together isn't the worst thing in the world, because it can actually maybe kill some of the higher health enemies if I pull them into it. Run around and grab those trees, and then pull the enemies back towards our little nest here. Again, trying to stay at full health at all times, if possible, to maximize our harvesting income. It's tough because I have to, like, squeeze along the bottom of the map there, so I haven't been able to pick up any of those materials. But hopefully we'll get some before the end, and it's okay to just have some doubled materials there. Let's take some more movement speed, try to stay ahead of the enemies. I'm just going to buy these things, and I kind of want the propeller hat, but I've got to find a weapon. Fertilizer we still have to take, though. This run's going really well, except that we have found 0 potato throwers, or 1 potato thrower total. Enemies starting to despawn, because we're at the point where there's enough enemies on the field that we do get despawns happening. I really need to pick up just some materials. I don't want to carry too many doubled materials from wave to wave. Taking a million damage here. The anglerfish are putting us under so much pressure because I have only 1 gun. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we survived somehow. Gonna recycle this, and then I guess just take 3 armor to try to not die. I could start building dodge. We actually do have some dodge. So let's take 9% dodge here, and then I have to find a gun. Okay, we've got a potato thrower. Pumpkin is the level 3 is one of the things that's most awful about this gun, by the way, is that it levels uselessly. It gets almost nothing from leveling up. You can see it does the same damage, has the same damage scaling. It attacks a little faster, but otherwise gets nothing for being leveled up. I could take the pumpkin to increase our piercing damage, but I don't think that actually matters that much. Our percent damage is really low already, so I'm not going to be able to boost my piercing damage that much. And the piercing shots are mostly, at this point, just to proc lifesteal, which I will buy more of. And then let's roll here again. Duct tape I will take. I do want more engineering. It will cost me max health, which is unfortunate, but engineering and armor are super important. I don't think we're going to have the damage to clear the horde wave, though. So, unless I get, like, 2 more guns in the next shop, I think the horde wave is probably going to get us. Also, if I just take infinite damage for no reason. I pretty much have to just ignore these loot aliens. There's just nothing we can do to kill them. Having piercing shots and some lifesteal on a fast attacking ranged weapon does give us some healing, which is pretty nice. So we do have that going for us. I just don't think that we're going to be able to not get overwhelmed by the horde wave. I am making some more money. I'll take 5% dodge here. We actually are building dodge. Seashell. So this doesn't work with turrets, which I wish it did. But extra projectiles on a ranged weapon, I think we will take that. Let's roll here, and I'll take just some more attack speed, I guess. I'll buy the duct tape. I'll roll. Kraken's Eye is actually, that's a way we can stay alive. I'll take a Clockwork Wasp, and I'm going to roll again and roll again. Rip and Tear could maybe kill enemies, but let's roll. Okay, if we survive this horde wave, which seems pretty unlikely, we'll be able to buy a 4th gun. Huzzah! Incendiary Turret still proving how powerful that item is on the horde wave here. Even though we're the farmer, I want to not pick up too many consumables at full health because we're going to need a lot of healing to survive this wave. There's just no way we're not going to take damage in the second half of the wave. So I need to stack up healing for my jerky to help keep us alive. Jerky, of course, is an incredible item always. Run through the middle here and kill those 2 trees. Okay, well, I did not think we had a chance of surviving the horde wave, but we did. So maybe we're okay. I'm gonna take 6% dodge here. Now that we're building dodge, I actually want to invest more into that. Kraken's Eye will buy in a second, but I need the gun first. And we got another gun, and we got more lifesteal. Toolbox, I don't think I want to reduce my... The engineering's not bad, but I don't want to reduce my damage by... or my attack speed by 8%. And we're going to get, for the first time ever, a full set of potato throwers. And acid, I suppose I should take as well. Increasing my max HP increases the base damage of our weapons. I need some percent damage also, but... if we make it past this wave, we will actually get a full weapon set. No, the blobfish ran into the incendiary turret. So that's gonna probably mean... oh, nice. It actually... I'm really happy that it got buffed there, because that's gonna mean that the blobfish doesn't die early in the wave and put a lot of pressure on us with the lampreys. If I get to like 15 or 20% lifesteal, then I'll feel a lot better as well. I need more armor. Had to reverse direction there, but I did have to run into some buffed enemies to do that, which is pretty dangerous. But we made 315 materials. I'll take the cake here. Wings, yeah, I do want more movement speed. The range also isn't completely useless. It's not great, but it does do stuff. We'll take Kraken's Eye. Getting 10 curse is pretty dangerous, because more curse obviously is really bad for us. Cursed enemies are really bad for us, given how low damage we are. But the extra HP is huge, so we just need to buy that item for sure. Doing 1 damage a shot to these stupid mantis shrimp. This is one of the better elites that we could have gotten, given that we have super high movement speed. And this is one reason I really like investing in movement speed on harder runs, is that a lot of elites are really tough if you have low movement speed, but are free to run away from if you're fast. Like, this one basically can't hurt us as long as we have really high move speed. So we can just run away from it. But if we had lower move speed, it would be a nightmare. I'm going to take the cog here. We do have enough engineering that I think that's worth it. I'll take another bag. And then, yeah, more lifesteal. Another bag and an acid. And then we'll roll. Bowler hat I could take, but I think that's too expensive. Wandering Bot could maybe keep enemies away from us, but again, too expensive, I think. Not going to bother upgrading our potato launchers. As you can see, upgrading them is just basically useless. But I will take a tree here. Blood Leech will take as well. Decomposing Flesh, I think I'm still going to pass on. I don't want to reduce my max health. So at this point, I am looking for armor and lifesteal. Those are pretty much the only stats that we care about. Dodge is also good because we've built a little bit of dodge. Max health is good as well. It'll scale our damage and also, of course, can help keep us alive. Shouldn't have taken that hit, but that's okay. Unfortunately, I killed one of the blobfish, which meant spawning a bunch of lampreys. So that did make this wave a little harder. But we did manage to escape, and we're making okay money. I don't have any way of dealing elemental damage right now, right? Yeah. Incendiary turret doesn't count. So I'm going to recycle the ice cube. And then I think just 9 more max HP, or do I roll for armor and lifesteal? I think I actually do want to roll for armor or lifesteal. Again, sure, now we're finding potato throwers. Let's definitely take the blindfold and the blood leech. Do I want poisonous tonic? It costs me regen, which we're not using. Attack speed is good. Crit chance is not useful. I think for 200 I'm going to pass on it. It's close. Alien eyes just won't do enough damage to be worth buying. Same with baby elephant. Weird ghost, I think we'll pass on as well, and I'll roll one more time here. Wow, we are finding nothing that we want. I'll take a feather, because I can build some dodge. That was a terrible shop. But our goal is just to get to like 20% lifesteal or so. And as much armor, dodge, and max HP as possible to tank through the end game. Ouch. Taking a lot of hits. It's very hard not to because of all these mini bosses on the field. Got a fairly lucky dodge there, which helped. Trying to use our knockback to clear a path. Wave 16 is always going to be a nightmare for this character. It's just so much max HP on the field. Or, you know, enemy HP. Okay, well, we made it. Boxing glove. I don't hate the knockback. I guess I'll take it. Crown. Will this do anything by the end of the run? It probably will pay for 47. And then I'm going to roll. Roll again. Take 3 lifesteal. Here. Pearl doesn't... I mean, our percent damage is horrible, but Pearl doesn't really do anything. So let's roll. Fishhook. Kind of too late for Fishhook. Frozen Heart doesn't do anything either. Let's roll again. Ball and Chain is not what we want, because our weapons attack quite a bit faster than that. Do I want the Missile to try to fix my percentage damage? I think, honestly, trying to do that is just a fool's errand. So I'm going to just roll here. We'll take a Weird Food for sure. Then I'll roll one more time. I could take a Lighthouse. Boosting my engineering by that much actually could help our weapons kill stuff, but I think we just didn't find anything relevant that wave, or that shop again. This is really painful. We are barely navigating these super difficult waves and then finding nothing in the shop after having gotten to this point, which is very unlucky. Now, obviously, this character is always going to have worse shops than other characters because there's just fewer items that we want, given that we're not really buying damage that much. We don't need base damage and stuff like that. But the fact that we found nothing that gives us a relevant boost is fairly unlikely. Gonna have to fight an elite next wave. See if we can kill... Yeah, we got that tree, which is good. We'll get that tree. 754 materials. I guess I'll take the crystal. We do want the attack speed. It's hard for us not to take hits, but the crystal's still good. Spicy sauce. That's a way we could actually deal damage to enemies. I'm gonna roll once here, and I will take 8% damage, because our percent damage is so negative that I do want to boost that. So do I 72 damage on the spicy sauce with no explosion size? I still don't think it's worth investing in the dynamite. It's a little late for incendiary turret, and we're obviously passing on starfish. Gentle alien gives us more stuff to lifesteal off of, which is relevant, and 5% damage and 2 HP are not bad. But I think there's better stuff we can find, like this leather vest, which is excellent. Pumpkin, I'm still passing on. Scared sausage, we could buy if we had picked up the ice cube, but since we didn't, it's not really going to do anything. Roll again here. Roll again. Leveled up decomposing flesh could be quite a bit of lifesteal, because I have one already, right? I bought a decomposing flesh at some point, or have I passed on all of those? Alright, it looks like I've passed on all of those, but a cursed decomposing flesh, it'll cost me max HP, but it's probably worth at least 4% lifesteal, so I think I will buy it. Celery tea we're not going to buy. Shady potion we'll take, and then I'll roll. Warrior helmet. This is the type of item that we were desperately looking for this entire time. No, I pushed it into its house. And then I killed the house and buffed it, but better that than spawning a bunch of mini-bosses. I would rather face the buffed enemies than the mini-bosses, because they just fill the map with so many projectiles. Makes it really hard to dodge. Was trying to kill that tower before it spawned. Unfortunately, my damage is terrible, so we didn't. Ooh, got a dodge there. We were pretty lucky there, I think, without 2%. If either of those, or if both of those percent dodges had missed, we'd have died. We only needed one of them, but we got both of them. Always going to take that hit, and wave ends. That's great. Huh. We have a lot of move speed, so we can't take Estes couch. That's too bad. Let's roll here. And I don't really need the ranged damage. I guess I'll just take 2 lifesteal. Extra stomach. There's no chance that this is worth it, right? It's just 8 max HP for 300 materials. So I think... And that's if I stay at full health the whole wave and get 8 drops, which I don't think we're doing. So let's just buy some attack speed for lifesteal and then roll. I will take a muscly dude, though. This is 5 max HP for 150, so a slightly better ratio than the extra stomach, and with no chance of not working. Roll one more time, because I am still looking for lifesteal and armor. 14 armor, 35 dodge. I definitely could use more of those things. Even we've sort of barely navigated the last couple waves, but that's because the shops have been unusually terrible. I think we were very well set up, starting like wave 15. We were very well set up to win and rolled very poorly on our shops, which has made it much more tense. Now, obviously, we could still win, we could still lose. I don't know what's going to happen in the boss wave, but I'm reasonably happy with having navigated the last few waves without dying, given that we got so unlucky on our shops. I'll take the warrior helmet here, and do I want 16% damage? I don't really care about clearing the other enemies on the field that much, but it's a level 4 upgrade, so I think I probably still just grab it. let's roll here, and blindfold will definitely take. Roll again. Snail, I think I will just grab that. It'll make it a little easier to dodge the bosses. And then we're going to roll again, take a butterfly, one more reroll here, and nothing that we can buy. So let's see if we can finally get our farmer potato thrower win. And if I die here, you know, we're just going right back at it. Because, like I said, I have a bunch of time today. Set aside several hours to see if we could get this. So, we're going till we win. I should stop picking up consumables while I'm at full health. Obviously, I've had that habit because we're the farmer, but we don't need that anymore. With Doubletree and Lumberjack Shirt, too, if we had found a pocket factory at any point in this run, it would have been really nice. So, gonna try to navigate the side here. All those dodges were important. I had to walk into a couple attacks in a row there. But we were able to just pick up a bunch of consumables. Jerky remaining one of the game's best items. Try to navigate around all those attacks, and we're always taking those hits. So I'm trying to minimize the number of attacks we're taking and get back to the right side of the map where we can use our stockpiled consumables that we have over there. And then, given that I bought all the defensive stats and had really high lifesteal, we did it! Whew! Okay, well, that was very difficult, but we managed to get there in the end. 512 harvesting, pretty sick for the farmer to get that, even though we were getting, like, no harvesting at the beginning. Crown, of course, helping out with that with 114 extra harvesting. Taking a look at our items here, I think, honestly, we did not get any of the items that I called out as being key at the beginning. It was just finding, and we went a long while before we found our third weapon as well. So we actually didn't have to get as lucky as I thought maybe we did have to. The early Lumberjack Shirt was incredible. This was super, super important. These turrets and Incendiary Turret mattered a lot. They did 20k damage and 82k damage, respectively. Just absurd. Coupon was good. We got it in a box, so it paid for itself many times over. Sharp Bullet was very important as well for the mid-game. This Seashell was amazing, giving us so much extra opportunity to lifesteal just by having more projectiles. And the Kraken's Eye worked out very well. It did some damage, but mostly gave us a lot of extra health, and we got 2 really good cursed items. Jerky couldn't have run the one with... Could not have won the run without it. It got there in the end. This item just solves your healing problems very easily on so many characters, so remains just amazing. What else? The only 600 spicy sauce damage is really funny, actually. But mostly, yeah, we just managed to get 6 weapons, got a bunch of lifesteal to go with our extra projectiles, and we're able to build tanky and make our way through it. Honestly, I don't... Oh, also triple bag, of course. Only 615 materials from the triple bag, but still pretty relevant, given the low economy of this run. Honestly, I don't really recommend trying this run yourself, unless you really just want to keep bashing your head into a wall. It was difficult and interesting, but requires a lot of restarts, so you need to know that if you're going into it. But I had a great time, and I'm really happy that we managed to finally get a win. All right, my friends, hope you enjoyed this one. And of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.